something that is old. And I just want to read the opening of this to you. This is called not The King in Yellow, but The King in the Golden Mask. It's by Marcel Schwab. I believe originally French or Belgian. And it's been translated, of course. I'm not going to be reading the original French. Holy Belgium, man. Listen to this. Tell me what you think of this. The king masked in gold arose from the black throne where he had been seated for hours and asked what had caused the uproar. For the gatekeepers had crossed their pikes and clashing iron could be heard. Around the bronze brazier, the 50 priests to his right and 50 jesters to his left also had risen. And the women in a semicircle before the king waved their hands. The pink and purple flame glowing through the sieve of the ancient bronze brazier caused the masks to shine upon their faces. In imitation of the emaciated king, the women, jesters, and priests wore unchanging faces of silver, iron, bronze, wood, and fabric. And the jesters' masks gaped with laughter, while the priests were black with concern. 50 merry faces blossomed to his left, and to his right 50 sad faces scowled. Meanwhile, the bright fabric stretched over the heads of the women mimed endlessly graceful faces, enlivened by artificial smiles. But the king's golden mask was majestic, noble, and veritably royal. Yet the king remained silent, and similar in this silence to the race of kings of whom he was the last. The city had once been governed by princes who wore their faces uncovered, but long ago a long horde of masked kings rose up. No man had seen the faces of these kings, and not even the priests knew the reasons why. Nevertheless, the order had been given since eras immemorial to cover the faces of all who approached the royal residence, and this family of kings knew only the masks of men. And while the locks of the gatekeepers were creaking and their sonorous weaponry was ringing out, the king asked them gravely, "Who dares disturb me during these hours when I sit among my priests, jesters, and women?" And the guards answered, trembling, "Your Majesty, Golden Mask, it is a poor man dressed in a long robe. He appears to be one of those pious beggars who wander the land, and his face is uncovered." "Let this beggar in," said the king. The priest with the most solemn mask turned to the throne then and bowed. "O king," he said, "the oracles have foreseen that it would be unwise for your race to lay your eyes upon the faces of men." And the jester, whose mask was pierced by the widest grin, turned his back to the throne and bowed. "Beggar," he said, "whom I am yet to see, no doubt you are more of a king than the king in the golden mask, seeing as he is forbidden to look upon you." And the woman with the silkiest down upon her cheek brought her hands together, parted them, and curved them as if to take hold of a sacrificial vase. Yet the king, lowering his eyes upon her, feared the revelation of an unknown face. Then an evil desire crept into his heart. "Let this beggar in," said the king in the golden mask. And through the shivering forest of pikes, where the blades of broadswords splintered upward like an explosion of green gold and red gold leaves of steel, an old man with a tousled white beard approached the foot of the throne and raised to the king his bare face, where uncertain eyes were trembling. "Speak," said the king. The beggar answered in a loud voice, "If he who addresses me is the man masked in gold, I shall of course answer him, and I believe it is he. Who would dare raise his voice before him? But I cannot assure myself of this with my sight, for I am blind. Even so, I know there are women in this hall, from the polite rubbing of their hands upon their shoulders, and there are jesters, for I hear laughter, and there are priests, since these men solemnly whisper. Yet the men of this country have told me that you are masked, and you, king in the golden mask, conclusion of your race, you have never contemplated a face in the flesh. Listen, you may be king, but you know nothing of your people. These men to my left are jesters. I hear them laughing, and these men to my right are priests. I hear them weeping, and I sense the muscles in the faces of these women are scowling." Yet the king turned to those the beggar called jesters, and his gaze found the priests' masks black with concern. And he turned to those the beggar called priests, and his gaze found the jesters' masks agape with laughter. And he looked upon the crescent of his sitting women, and their faces looked beautiful to him. "You lie, strange man," said the king, "and it is you who laugh, cry, and scowl, for your horrible face, incapable of stillness, was granted mobility only in order to conceal. The men you claim are jesters are my priests, and those you claim are priests are my jesters. And who are you to judge? You, whose face contorts again with every word, to question the unchangeable beauty of my women." "Neither theirs nor yours," said the mendicant in a quiet voice, "for I can know nothing of them, being blind, just as you know nothing of others, nor of yourself. But I am greater than you in this. I know that I know nothing. And I may be speculating, but perhaps the men who look like jesters to you are weeping behind their masks. And it may well be that the true faces of those who look like priests to you are contorted from the joy of tricking you. And you do not know if the cheeks of your women are in fact ashen beneath the silk. And you, king masked in gold, who knows if you are not horrible despite your finery?" Then the jester, who had the widest mouth, melting with gaiety, let out a snicker similar to a sob, and the priest with the heaviest brow spoke a supplication just like a nervous laugh, and the mask of every woman shuddered. And the king, with the golden face, gave a sign, and the guard seized the barefaced old man by the shoulders and threw him out by the great portal of the hall. That is the opening of Marcel Schwab's The King in the Golden Mask. It's a short novel in this small Wakefield Press publication. Wonderful little thing. Great cover. And I'll just mention, as we go back to a little something from, we'll do the news notes, even though it's going to light me up like a Christmas tree. Just mention that that wonderful little piece applies not only to the personalities of politicians in the modern day and their sycophants and their lackeys and their supporters, but to the artifice of the state itself and the disconnect from real people. And it goes directly towards what I brought up at the beginning of the program. The falsity of the state, the mask that the state wears, And the idea that somehow the state is its own creature, that somehow is valid and can rule over you. It's just a mask. It's all fake. And that is a great little parable with a lot of different layers of dimensions to it. Great stuff. The King in the Golden Mask. I'll look up more information about that. Just got it delivered a little while ago. And I better get running. But thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me. I hope you had a fantastic night. And check out the news notes if you are so inclined. Kevin Klein. We'll check out the wonderful Liberty Conspiracy logo thing there. Hopefully.